Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use Yetis and Witches to easily 3-star bases here at Townhall 13. So this is the army composition we are going to be using today, and honestly it is one of the easiest strategies you can use at Townhall 13 because you pretty much just spam it in. You really don't need to think about it too much, and honestly more often than not you're going to get those 3 stars. It's really strong. And the good thing about it is it's really easy to execute. So let's jump in and we'll break it down. So you guys can see we're already at 1 minute 30 on this one. It's a really fast attack and it's a very efficient attack. There's a couple of things you're going to want to think about though. First of all, we're always going to be trying to go opposite Town Hall side, because when we're coming in with something like a log launcher, you want to get it maximum value. So we're going to go opposite Town Hall side. Now, if you have an anti 3-star base with a Town Hall somewhere on the outside, you might need to think up your plan. You will still go opposite Town Hall side, but of course you're going to need to have something to take care of that Town Hall itself. You can see we actually have an open wall compartment here which we're going to be using the jump on, but that's because we don't want our troops to kind of wander around the base. We want to make sure they're going into this portion, so by using that jump spell there, we're guaranteeing them going into the base. Also, cheeky little super wall breaker going to be giving us access into this compartment right there. And then it is the simple case of spamming in those Yetis, spamming in those Witches in behind. Log Launcher, King, Queen, Grand Warden, all going to be going in together. You couldn't really get anything more complex than that, and that's because it's super simple. The main thing you want to consider here is a couple of Yetis and Witches go around the outside and the same on the other side. That's not the end of the world. In fact, it's actually good for us. We do want a couple to go around the edge, clean up those outer trash buildings. Any defenses they could pick up will be spot on. As far as equipment goes, Earthquake Boots are a definite must on the King. They are really going to help us out when you get into the core of the base. Then you can use pretty much any equipment you want on the rest of your heroes. You see on the rest of them we've got the really basic equipment. If you've got epic equipment, feel free to use it. If not, the basic stuff will work. But for me, those Earthquake Boots are a definite must, and they still work even at level 1, which is perfect. So jump spell of course coming down, super wall breaker then going to give us access. Nice early rage spell on those Yetis and on those Witches, trying to maximize the amount of damage we are doing. Now, when to use that Eternal Tome ability on the Grand Warden, it's important to use it in the right situation. If you're entering a part of the base which isn't very heavy on splash damage, so there's not many multi-target infernos or the Eagle Artillery or the scatter shot, stuff like that, you don't really need to worry about it. But you'll see right here, we've got a lot of stuff that's firing down on our troops, so we're actually going to use a pretty early Eternal Tome ability just to protect our troops as they start to progress through into the core. Now the good thing about the log launcher is it is going to spring away any ground based troops that potentially could be coming out of that enemy CC. Of course, poison spell going to be going down to help push through them. Jump spell giving our Queen access into this bottom compartment. And the rest of the attack is about management of spells and management of your remaining resources. So of course, that means the Royal Champion coming in on the back end with that. Her job is going to be to clean through this compartment here, and it's important that we try and take down that back end scatter shot for sure. Continuing to push in towards that Town Hall, we are going to have a couple more Yetis coming out of that log launcher, using those free spells. Like I said, important to use those spells as and when you need them. King's ability going to get popped off on the back end, giving us a little bit more access. Unfortunately here we do see the Yetis not going towards that Town Hall, but it's not the end of the world because we have a King and our Grand Warden clearing that down. Couple of Witches still helping around the back end of this one, excuse me, and you guys can see really strong attack, and honestly it doesn't take much skill. It's really easy to learn and it's really easy to execute. We're just spamming in those troops and you're always going to pretty much get that 3-star. You do need to be careful if you're seeing a couple of multi-target infernos. You've seen this when we had a multi and a single target inferno, so we do need to be careful, but you guys can just keep an eye on it, and when you start to notice okay they're taking a lot of DPS, that's when you start to use your spells, that's when you start to use your Grand Warden ability. But there's the first 3-star. We have 2 more examples, so let's jump in and take a look. So the next one, again, you can see super fast attack that's going to be coming in, and we're doing almost the exact same strategy here. Opposite Town Hall side, all the way over here, there's that jump spell, spamming in those Yetis in a nice line. Witches going to be coming in straight behind, then Log Launcher, King, Queen, Grand Warden all coming in together. Here they come all together. Beautiful stuff. Couple of Yetis, couple of Witches probably going to go onto the outside of the base. Super Wallbreaker going to sneak in there, just open up a few more compartments for us. And honestly, don't worry about the fact that the jump spell is actually Not really doing too much here because of that log launcher. It's not the end of the world because we wanted to give our troops nice early access because of course sometimes the log launcher can take a little bit of time to actually open up those walls, so we want to give them early access as quickly as possible. Single target Inferno going to be going down over on that right hand side of the base. King doing a great job. Remember, we do have his earthquake boots to potentially open up some of these back end compartments. You guys will see it used in a second. Witches doing some nice work on the back end of this one. There is the earthquake boots from that King, opening up all those compartments lovely on the back end for us, allowing those witches, the royal champions in there as well, going to be dealing with that scatter shot on the back end. And while all that was happening, the town hall compartment has gone down as well. Still got the queen and the royal champion ability, and this attack completely crushes this base every single time. No problem for us. The Yetis and the Witches in combination here at Town Hall 13 is just incredibly strong. So we're going to have one more example of this attack and you guys can see how dominant it can be. There is the final buildings going down and there is the 3 stars on the board. Let's hop over and take a look at the next one. So here we are with that third and final attack. Again, just to recap what we're going to be doing here, creating that line of Yetis, that line of Witches. We're then going to be pushing in towards the Town Hall. Now, you can see here 2 multi-target Infernos, 1 single target Inferno. If you're starting to see things like 3 multi-target Infernos, you do need to be careful because they can eat up your Yetis, your Yetimites, your Witches and the skeletons all pretty quickly indeed. We're going to be going into a very heavy entry into this base with the double scatter shot, so we will need to keep an eye on potentially using that Grand Warden ability early on because of course we're going to be going opposite Town Hall side, which means down here. And here's the Town Hall. Okay, so jump spell going to be giving us access nice and quickly. We actually used that one Yeti over here just a little bit earlier than we typically have in the rest of our attack, and that was just to 100% sure, make sure the majority of our troops are going to be going into the base. There's the Eternal Tome, like I said, holding on to it just for a little bit of time. Super Wall Breaker did give us access right there. Unfortunately on this one, the log launcher is not going to be springing all of those clan castle troops away because it was slightly over towards that left hand side, but so far so good. We are getting lots and lots of value. Keep an eye out for that king ability. It's going to open up all of these centralized compartments. Unfortunately, we have lost quite a lot of Yetis, our queen and our warden, off to this right hand side, but it's not the end of the world because we're still making good progress in towards that Town Hall. Royal Champion is now going to be coming in. You'll see a couple of Yetis coming out of that Town Hall using those free spells because we have them to secure that Town Hall with the Yetis and the use of our Royal Champion. The rest of our troops pushing around the outside of this one. Tesla Farm is going to spring up over on that left hand side, but that's not going to cause us an issue because we have lots of skeletons out in front from these witches which are going to be able to tank. Royal Champion in a bit of a battle with that Grand Warden, but it's not a problem. We still have her ability, the life gem on her, as well as that Seeking Shield, and we have the multi-target Inferno is a important defense to try and get down, but it shouldn't cause us too many issues because of course we have that Queen ability as well. Still looking really strong on this one. Starting to lose a few troops here on the back end, but we have enough that we can comfortably push through. So typically at Town Hall 13 you might start to be getting a little bit more advanced with your strategies. You might start to see a few more queen charges coming in, some Lalo, but honestly these spam based strategies are still incredibly strong and you're going to be able to 3-star pretty much every single time. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and if you're enjoying all my videos here at the Barracks, make sure you drop a subscription to us. We're putting out lots and lots of strategy guides for you guys to master the art of 3-starring here in Clash of Clans. So thank you so much for watching and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.